Hello Skillr boxers. Today we are going to analyse the most evil boxer in history. A boxer who is comfortable in the uncomfortable, who enjoys pain, both taking it and inflicting it. But above all, he has tremendous skills and is blessed with innate reflexes and reactions. Today, we will be breaking down the evil skills of Roberto Duran. With more than 100 fights, 70 knockouts, and a career spanning from featherweight all the way to middleweight, Roberto Duran is from a different breed.
A mean motherfuckers, people scared to look at him.
Devil.
His heavy punches, great distance control, and unique fighting style on the inside establish him as one of the best lightweights of all time. Still, he was able to carry all that power and innate technique to heavier weight classes and remain extremely competitive.
And this is the reason why Roberto Duran is so great. He's only 5'6". He was able to go from 135 pounds all the way to light heavyweight. But these are the things that we don't see.
Well, today we are going to break down his best skills step by step and understand his inside fighting style. So if you want to learn Roberto Duran's evil skills, this breakdown is for you. First things first, let's start with the boxing stance. Boxing stance. Duran has an offensive approach to boxing, always looking to connect with power punches and combinations. This is why he adopts a squared stance, as a squared stance leaves the rear hand closer to the opponent. From the outside, he usually uses an open guard, moving his arms to create traffic between himself and his opponent.
We would see the great Roberto Duran get verdicts, and he tries there.
A big part of his game from the outside is his use of parries and extended blocks. He uses that open guard to deflect and block punches while countering with his lead hand. As we will see later on, this open guard does have some flaws. But for now, let's start with his first skill. Distance control. One of his most underrated skills is his ability to gauge distance with his eyes and control it in all aspects, both defensively and offensively. As mentioned, from the outside he keeps an open guard, using parries and blocks. He would often parry and jab right after. When he jabs, he circles to his left, at the same time creating angles that force his opponent to constantly reposition. His jab is his best measuring tool. As we have reviewed in other breakdowns, the lead hand is a great way to measure distance to control it. In Duran's case, you will often see him fall short with the jab, but it serves as a great tool to gauge distance and set up his power punches.
Leonard, possible flick the left jab to keep Duran away, but... Oh, there's a... Listen.
He falls short with the jab, but connects cleanly with the rear hand, often catching opponents by surprise.
It's not been an effective jab, though, Alan. It's not landing on Cuevas, and it's certainly not keeping Cuevas off of Duran.
On the other hand, Cuevas by nature is not a good jabber, and he gets nailed by right hand by Duran.
He also understands distance in terms of creating openings for his punches. As we will see later, when fighting on the inside, he cleverly controls the distance, making space for his shots. Defensively, his distance management is equally impressive. He knows the exact distance between himself and his opponents, often moving just enough to make their punches fall short. He doesn't overdo defensive movements, but instead moves only as much as necessary. This allows him to have great head movements and evade punches in quick succession. Another great skill of his is his ability to mix up his head movement to cut the distance. He often bobs and weaves, getting under punches to find his way to the inside, where he does his best work. Counters to the body. As mentioned, Duran has great reactions, and even though his best work is on the inside, he is excellent at mid-range. He has exceptional counters, especially his outside slip followed by a cross, countering his opponent's jabs. However, his best counters are to the body. Counters to the body after a slip or roll are rare, but Duran used them constantly.
That's right.
He would slip to the inside track and throw his lead hook to the body, or roll under punches and rip combinations. He had many different ways to counter to the body, and it is truly one of his best skills.
It'll make you miss, and then he'll go to the body. And his sequence of punches to the body, to the midsection, was out of this world. This guy hits so hard.
His bodywork in general is among the best of all time. With relentless volume and heavy hands, he broke down opponents by constantly attacking the body. Inside fighting. This is Duran's best skill without a doubt. His activity on the inside and his understanding of the clinch are second to none. He is also known for being a very tricky boxer on the inside.
Who would you say is like the most skilled fighter you ever fought?
Duran.
Duran?
Duran is going to have to make Barkley miss and counter. Duran was the most skilled fighter, but he was just so slick and tricky you had to watch him.
His main strategy is to destabilize the opponent's position. Once at close range, he would use his head and posture forward to apply pressure with it, breaking the opponent's balance.
Интернационально отбирать титул друг у друга. Тут уже грязь идет такая небольшая. Мог бы угол Бюкенена.
From there, he would use his free hand to throw combinations, usually to the body and sneaking uppercuts to the head.
And on the ear there, about a minute to go, and this is the fourth round.
On those exchanges, he would extend his arms to block the opponent's punches. This is his hallmark technique at close range. He would use an extended block, making contact at elbow level, blocking the trajectory of the opponent's punches, gaining control of his arms.
On last to keep the crowd, he said.
He would completely neutralize the opponent this way, to then counter with his own shots.
Protected cups. 23 years old.
Other times, he would use his great head movement to evade shots. Whenever he felt the contact with his opponent break, he knew the opponent was about to punch. He would then duck under the shots, going off instinct.
Punches to the body. Went to his eye. Did he cut him? Now, Leonard throwing hard.
He also destabilized opponents by spinning them around and often driving them onto the ropes. But now let's take a look at Roberto Duran's biggest flaws. As we mentioned earlier, his open guard relies on great reactions and distance control. But if one of these attributes fails, it is a fundamentally risky strategy. Duran has one of the best chins in boxing, but that guard has gotten him into trouble, especially against fighters who knew how to set up punches and use feints, causing him to make mistakes and leave openings.
A solid right, and down goes Duran. He's just hanging a big right hand. That's it, Tim.
While his aggressive temperament made him a relentless and feared boxer, he sometimes struggled against slick, elusive fighters. At times, he grew frustrated and abandoned his technique, becoming reckless and predictable.
On the gloves by Leonard.
But you have to take the good with the bad. Roberto Duran is regarded by many as one of the greatest boxers of all time. His skills and achievements speak for themselves. One of the scariest boxers and best inside fighters of all time. Relentless, fearless, and with hands like stones. But now, we would love to know your opinion on the comments. Do you see any other skills or flaws in Roberto Duran? Let us know. And if the video was interesting, you can find more on our channel. And to your left, we have chosen a video that we thought you may like.